Hey. Time for another Out of This World story from rSpace. If we don't communicate with our partners, how can we know where they're at? How can we be sure we're on the same page? Communication is key. If not, we can end up in different pages or different books entirely. Today on rSpace, we discover that perfect isn't so perfect after all. Perfect religious wife is having an affair. I left on the spot after her confession. Now she's guilt-tripping me and threatening with self-deletion. Need help. Sorry for any mistakes in my writing, as I am not well educated and also English is not my language. Me, 33 male, and my wife, 28, have been married for 6 years. Usually people say they have ups and downs in a marriage, but I thought we didn't have any downs in my marriage. Because she was always ahead of everything in the morning, always waking up at the exact time in the morning, doing her duties, cooking, going on jobs, and so on. Always advising me what to do. I always seek advice from her. I have not completed my education properly and working on a job that pays good to run a life without debt, but not a great pay. She, on the other hand, has income of 10 times better than me, and she is working in an IT firm. A little background before we met. I was doing an automobile business and I lost all the money in my home and cars, and then the girlfriend due to my ex-friends who betrayed me and ran away with my money. That's the different story. After that, I left my home and was staying in a different state and lost my hope for the life. Then, a friend of mine introduced poker. I learned about the game, and even though the first 3 months I lost a lot, then I became very good and won some decent money, and was doing pretty well. I still proudly say I have no bad habits, never drink and never smoke. Life was going good. I forgot the betrayal and basically was thinking that karma will take its course in them, and started to heal. I regularly go to a particular church every Sunday. Then one day, a beautiful girl approached me and asked me where I am from, as I didn't speak their state language. I was surprised because 1, I usually don't speak to locals easily, and I'm an introvert. 2, she was so beautiful and I'd never seen her, but she seems to know about me. Anyway, I told her I'm from a different state and some info not my personal life. She told me that she was observing me for quite some time and was really amazed how I'm focused in praying and in Mass. God was the only hope for me to keep going, so in that time I gave myself to God. She seems to have observed that, as she was in the choir team, and I was always in the front row. We started talking every day, Sunday after church. I was carefree, and I don't have to worry about anything, was doing good in poker. After knowing her for 6 Sunday talks, she invited me for lunch in her house and asked for my number. I was a little excited and scared at the same time. I was an outsider and she was way out of my league, and was perfect in any sense. I went to her house and it was great lunch, and her family was great, especially her dad, who was an honest, simple man. He asked me what I was doing here and explained a little version of myself. They felt a little uncomfortable because I'm just doing poker, which is not a career or going anywhere in life. But I was honest and told them that at least I'm not hurt anymore and going with the flow of life. After lunch, she told me she wanted to go someplace with me on my bike. I was surprised her parents allowed me, as we are from a very traditional country. Even though that state is full of foreign people, it's still a conservative country when it comes to dating. We roamed on the bike for 1.5 years, and after that, she asked some personal details because at this age, I was not still married and being a loner. I felt real friendship and opened up fully myself. Still, I was feeling that she is friendly with me like others and trying to help. Because on those 6 of knowing her, she pretty much knows everyone in the circle and helps so many ways, both religious and friendship-wise. After 2 hours of talking, almost 6 o'clock in the evening, she asked me what was my future plan and if I ever intended to marry someone in the future. I told her no, because I was already almost 27 and not really having hope in relationships anymore. But she assured me it was not a big deal and convinced me to live a life with goals and ambitions. I argued with her that was not for me, but she insisted she was never wrong. I'm not going to bore you with all the romantic life of ours. It was not much, as we started talking regularly, developed feelings for each other, and got married after 8 months of dating and knowing. We never had sex in the 8 months, never hugged 2 times, kissed, that's all. It was no big deal, as I already mentioned we are from conservative backgrounds. Marriage happened. Both families was happy. My mom was really happy because she thought I would never get married. My father died a few years ago. It was great first night, was great. We both were shy and excited. I had past sexual relationships, but what surprised me was she was still a virgin even at the age of 23. When I asked her how and why, she told me she was waiting for the right partner. Hearing those words from her made me stand on top of the mountain. The honeymoon period was good and great. We had at least 2 times the sex per day. Even though I wanted little more, I never asked or forced her. Even though I know most of the things about sex, I was not ready to pressure my sexual desires on her or ask her. In my eyes, she was an angel and I didn't want to upset her, even with my single word or act. Life was good. I stopped playing poker for a while. I had a bunch of money and I was newlywed, that's why. The problem started after 3 months of marriage. I came to know there was a tournament with good prize pool and I really wanted to play. So I informed her that I will be playing the tournament, and that's when the first bomb dropped in my lap. She wanted me to quit playing poker and get a job. Any job, but not poker. I was a little confused and asked her what she meant. She told me poker is not the way of earning money. It's gambling and it's not hard-earned money. I agree with her in some points and explained myself about the game also, but she succeeded by giving ultimatum, either poker or her. Of course I chose her. Even though poker was not my dream, it was somewhat my passion in medicine. After that, I found a job in a trading company and have been working ever since there. It's not even a big company, but I'm not the same state guy and not educated, so I got that jobs only. My wife, on the other hand, has gotten promoted and have been doing great in her field, but never dominated me or shoved her success in me. We don't have children, even though we have regular sex. I have checked and confirmed I'm healthy to reproduce, but I scared to bring the topic to her because a few months back, she told me she would rather die than living without children. So, didn't brought that topic. I never went to her company celebrations. One time, she even mentioned to me that I won't like the events. Now come to the current situation. I wanted to watch Witcher for long, but had never had a time, but last Sunday I was free and wanted to watch. I asked her whether she wanted to watch, which she replied she just wanted to rest. I said okay and started Netflix, and it was great, but so many sexual scenes. I tried to avoid and fast forward most of the time, but she was laying on the sofa and made a command that she understood why I want to see these series so much. I asked her what she meant. She said, "You know already," and left to the bedroom. I was confused and paused it and went to talk to her, and she was crying, and I apologized to her and told her I didn't know it had nude scenes of this much and told her I will never look at it again. But I didn't know what was going to drop ahead. She told me she wanted to tell me something and that she is sorry and listened to her. I was a little confused and scared because the wife I know will never do anything wrong or stupid. I told her it's okay and tell me anything, not knowing I'm going to hear about infidelity of wife. She told me she is having an affair with her boss for a few months and don't know how to tell me. She realized I was so faithful and loyal to her, doing everything for her. Even though the first time it happened was an accident, she continued because he is always sweet-talking, guilt-tripping her, and begged for the love. When I hear those, there was a heavy sound on my left heart. I almost fainted and was not able to move my legs for 2 minutes. She told me when I see women on TV lustfully, that's when she realizes how much she is betraying me. She can't bear her husband looking at some acting nude girl, but effing her boss was okay. I was not even that lustful. I was surprised and taken aback by the scenes, but not into it deeply. I didn't know what to do, but because I never prepared slightly to that nuclear bomb. I got up, took my mobile and wallet, and started walking. She was crying loudly, asking where I was going. Just sit and talk to me and anything is forgivable, and give her a chance to explain. That's when I lost it. I asked, "You want to forgive for your effing affair?" I lost a drop of respect when you said this, and walked out of the house. She ran behind my back and I shouted and ran away. She might be embarrassed by the neighbors seeing us. She didn't follow me afterwards. Maybe she went to take a car, I don't know. Anyway, I was walking for almost 3 hours, then realized I'm broken and had to do something or else I'll die walking. I went to a nearby ticket booking office, booked a ticket, and reached my state and my home. My mom asked me what I was doing here suddenly. I told her I'm done with this life. I told her I needed some sleep and we'll talk to her in the morning. She was confused and said okay. My brother asked me what I was doing here and asked where is my wife. It's his house and he bought it, but before that we were renting that house for a long time. That's why I always felt it's our home. Even though he asked me kindly, I realized it's not my home and told him I'll be gone in a few hours. I have talked with mom and told her that we are divorcing and not to ask anything and left. She was confused, asked me to tell properly, But I told her again I'm done with this life. I left home and staying in the hotel and contacted lawyers. He is a known friend of mine and referred me to a divorce lawyer, and she told me to wait, as it will take because the other spouse and other will be granted divorced. Now current situation with my ex-wife, I don't use Facebook or any social media. I blocked her number in my phone. I don't know how many times she tried. She has no idea I'm in my state because she still hasn't called my mom. But in SMS text, she was explaining how devastated she is, telling me to come home and talk straight, how she accepted my dark things and sees only good things in me, but not me doing the same, how I took a vow to be with her forever, but just ran in a bad time like it was a long SMS. I don't know what to think about it. She is telling me in her last few messages that she thought I was a good partner but now realizes I'm her soulmate and can't live without me. How her thought of betrayal and guilt is killing me. She tried to end herself but stopped when thinking about me, etc. After that, I didn't read the remaining ones. If I kept reading, I would change my mind to contact her or even know her story. So I deleted all the messages without reading because if I kept it, I may read it and weaken myself. It's true she has many, many great and good qualities, but cheating destroyed everything of her. I'm posting here because I'm an introvert and basically have no friends. I don't usually be friends with anybody due to the past trauma of friendships and betrayal. I just wanted to vent and hear some kind words with a post after about divorce. Thank you. Please forgive me for my English and grammatical error. Thank you. I think there's a clear lack of communication between you and your ex, OP. I also think there are faults on both sides of this story. Cheating, of course, is unforgivable. Shame on her for choosing to do that. I'm thinking she might have had a problem with you and your gambling, and to me, it seems like you might not think you have a problem. Maybe I'm wrong. At the same time, that doesn't give her an excuse to cheat on you. She should have communicated that with you more clearly, and if that is indeed how she was feeling, I think your reaction to finding out was warranted. Sometimes you just need to get the heck away and walk it off. I think this really goes to show that without communication, you never really know where your spouse is at. Two people can totally be in the wrong place or worse. In a different book entirely. Update. Thank you so much everyone who supported me and sent me kind words. Sorry I was not able to respond because I was in a dark place and didn't know what to do. Still not sure about what to do, but I just want to post it here. Wife did inform to HR and resigned the job, and informed her parents and was trying to contact me. I didn't know any of this until the day before yesterday. I just went no contact and was in yoga ashram to clear my head and heart. But when I came back home to mom, she informed me that wife is in the hospital for 3 days for attempting self-harm due to pills overdose. Mom tried to reach me, but I switched off my mobile, so I don't know. I didn't know what to do, but really didn't want her to die or at least to clear whether it was drama or not. Took a next flight, reached the hospital by her father's help. There she was, still not coming to her senses fully. Was in bad shape. Doctors were saying they were trying their best. Her parents informed me that she wrote a letter to me and gave it to me. The letter was 4 pages, but it basically says she is sorry for the affair and now she realized the mistake she made. Now she can't live with me because of the guilt and can't live without me also. She was thinking what to do but didn't come to any conclusion because the marriage is permanently damaged. So it's the best to end herself. At the last line, it's mentioned she is responsible for her deletion, nobody else. I didn't know what to do. She was not still conscious. Their parents didn't do anything other than not to leave them at this time. After that, for a long day, she came to consciousness at night, but we are told not to disturb her. So we waited and there was one couple from the beginning was waiting with us. Turns out, it was the boss of my wife who cheated on me with, along with his wife. After wife's attempt, police got involved due to father-in-law and they were questioned. I don't know what to say. I was angry at the time. I knew if I did anything I will be in jail. So I just silently waited with anger burning inside to burst at any time. Yesterday doctor said she is okay but had to recover fully, but it will take at least a month for full recovery. She got yesterday evening and we are in her parents' place right now. She asked for me and wanted to talk to me after she knew I'm here, but I told her we can talk once we reached her parents' home. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll update you after we had a talk with my wife. Thank you. This went from bad to worse. That's really tough. I'm sorry to hear that she felt the need to attempt to take her life. There's always resources out there to turn to if you're ever experiencing those feelings. Suicide is never an answer, no matter how hard or hopeless that situation may be. So sorry things turned out this way, OP. Hopefully you both can talk and really gain some closure. You don't need to get back together. The marriage may be over, but that doesn't mean you don't want to have to be there for her anymore. This is heavy. I'm sorry, OP. Thank you for joining us today on rSpace. Like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. We'd hate for you to miss out. Also, if you want to get more stories from me, check out our lounge where I feature a larger variety of non-cheating related stories. See you there.